Hey everyone, and welcome back to Exposed Scandalous Files of the Elite. I'm your host, Jim Chapman, and we're going to jump right back into this part 2 of the Exposed Investigate series featuring the 764 group. And the last time that I left you, Bradley Cadenhead had been charged as an adult with 9 counts of various child pornography charges. So this kid goes to court, and this kid takes a plea, so he doesn't actually get a trial. And this is what he gets on those 9 counts, which are possession with intent to distribute child pornography. Count 1, he gets 20 years in prison. Count 2, he gets 20 years in prison. As a matter of fact, on all the counts, except for count 9, he got 20 years in prison. On count 9, he gets 10 years in prison and then 10 years of probation. So all told, Bradley Cadenhead ends up with 80 years in prison, which puts his release date at 2102. So it's essentially life for this kid, and deservedly so. And you'll figure out why so deservedly so today. Now, he is not without his parole opportunities. And for one of these lesser charges, he actually filled out a application for parole on that charge. And when you do that, you have a statement of fact form. And I'm going to cover with you something that I saw on this statement of fact form that I haven't seen or come across in my time covering crime. In big red letters stamped on the front of this thing. And incidentally, if you're a Patreon member, I uploaded this file, or I will be uploading this file to the Patreon, but stamped across the front of it, it says, "Attention parole authorities. Prior to or upon consideration of the defendant for release for parole, please contact the DA's office," that gives the number, "to arrange to review the video and photographic evidence recovered from defendant. The evidence depicts child pornography, but also includes video and photographic material reflecting the defendant's interest in, fascination with, and proclivity for infant murder and sexual assault, child mutilation, torture, and death, human self-mutilation," all in red, big letters, and then underneath it says, "This defendant is dangerous." If that don't tell you everything you need to know about this guy, I don't know what will. So this story doesn't end with this guy. As a matter of fact, it's just beginning. Because when Bradley Cadenhead finally got sent to jail for the rest of his life, the 764 group just branches off. And when it branches off, I'm talking freaking internationally. As a matter of fact, it's essentially a terror network that uses what's known as sextortion to prey upon these teens. We're going to get into some examples of the shit that they're doing, some of their tactics. Now, the tactics used by members of the online network that is now branched off into these other networks known as 764, they're predatory, they're exploitive, and they're designed to coerce minor victims into producing harmful content through extreme psychological abuse and cybercrime. And so some of the tactics are grooming. Members will target these minors, often appearing isolated or struggling with mental health on online platforms. And they might even act like they're romantically interested, or they're interested in forming a friendship to gain trust. A lot of times they are not who they say they are. They may say they're a 14-year-old female, but they might be a 14-year-old male, or they might be a 29-year-old male. They use sextortion and blackmail to get these victims to do what they want to do. Once they get compromising information, be it nude photos, nude videos, whatever, they use that to coerce these victims into further harmful acts. They force them to commit acts of self-harm, animal cruelty. They'll tell them to kill dogs, for example, or even abuse others. And a lot of times this is live streamed or it's recorded. And they also do what's known as suicide baiting. And I'm going to give you an example of that in just a minute. They also utilize doxing, which is publishing the victim's personal information online. They'll SWAT you, which means they'll make false calls to the police saying something's going on at your house, and they'll get like SWAT teams to go to your house. SIM swapping, which is stealing a target's phone number to access accounts. They're just disgusting. But I'm going to give you a real-time example of this that just happened last month. So I'm going to give you an example quickly of a male, and this just happened November of 2025, who got sextorted and killed himself over this. This was just a young 15-year-old male. He was a high school student in West Virginia. He died by suicide in November of 2025, and this was just hours after being targeted in an online sextortion scheme. As a matter of fact, the FBI is now on this one. His name was Bryce, and let me tell you how the scheme went. A scammer pretended to be a 17-year-old girl who knew people at his school. She contacts Bryce via text message. They start talking. They build trust. This person convinces Bryce to send some nude images, this 15-year-old boy, and they exchange actually photos. Of course, he is being scammed, so this is probably a 45-year-old male, right? Once Bryce sent those images, the scammer had him, and he demands $500 from Bryce. He threatened to release these sensitive photos to not only Bryce's family, but his friends and his school if he didn't comply. So the first message was sent around 4:37 p.m. on November 6th, and that conversation, which included very intense pressure and shaming, would continue until minutes before his death at 7 p.m. the same fucking day. Just 2.5 hours later. Now, according to his parents, Bryce was an honor student. He had a stable home life. He had good friends. He had no history of depression or bullying. And the incident happened so quickly, he just couldn't see his way out. The police recovered his phone, and a forensic evidence review confirmed sextortion. The FBI was contacted, and they have taken over the investigation, and it is believed to have links to 764 group or factions that branched off of it. And let me say this, shout out to his parents who are being very vocal. They're doing everything they can to take what is the most horrible situation in a parent's life and trying to do some sort of good with it and raise awareness for this bullshit that is occurring right now. I could not imagine how they feel, but I can tell you this. I don't care who you are. I don't care your economic means. I don't care how strict you are as a parent. This can happen to anybody. How do I know? Because I stopped one in the process with one of my own kids when they were younger. And I'm not going to get into too much detail, but I will tell you, it almost happened to me. And me and my family are strict, or were strict when they were kids. Hell, we're still strict and they're adults. But we watched. We were careful. We monitored. And I fortunately caught something before it got out of hand. So let's move on. That's just one example of hundreds of thousands of these cases. Did you know this was going on in your own backyard? So what really prompted me to put this out there and do this case, in addition to what I saw on poor Bryce's case, that poor little boy, and God bless his parents. But even aside from that, was a guest that had appeared on what's known as the Sean Ryan Show, which y'all, if you do not follow the Sean Ryan Show, do it. This guy is an ex-Navy SEAL, and I would say, and this is a big statement coming from me, but the best interviewer there is in podcasting. He is, in my opinion, he surpasses even Joe Rogan, and he interviews all kinds of different people. In this particular episode that caught my eye and ears, he sat down with a computer hacker turned good guy by the name of Ryan Montgomery. Now, Ryan is what is known as an ethical hacker, as well as a cybersecurity expert. He's actually ranked #1 in the world. He is the founder of Pen Tester, which is a cybersecurity platform based in Boca Raton, Florida, and it provides all-in-one tools for vulnerability scanning, data breach detection, and risk mitigation for very large companies. But in addition to all of that, he is also the Chief Technology Officer of the Sentinel Foundation. And this is the focus today. It leverages advanced technology and it collaborates with law enforcement to combat child exploitation and human trafficking globally. Ryan's known for infiltrating dark websites, and he exposes child predators, and he demonstrates live captures on podcasts. He basically has dedicated this time in his life, y'all, to going after members of the 764 group and the cults that spin off on it. And what's amazing about this kid is he's smarter than they are. And he knows his way around a freaking computer, man. He is a legit hacker, and he gets them to click on stuff. Let's just put it that way. But what you're about to hear is a clip of his sit down on Sean Ryan's show, where he does an amazing job of describing his view of how sick the group 764 is. And here is your warning. What you're about to hear is very disturbing, but it's real, and it's happening right here in our own backyard. And here's that.
What is 764? What is it?
So I'll tell you in my own words first. 764 group is a Satanist cult group that focuses on extreme violence. And one of the main things that they focus on is sextortion towards children. They're labeled as a nihilist group. And for anyone that doesn't know what a nihilist is, it just means like they believe that nothing matters. No, like there's a group called it, but no lives matter. No human life matters. Nothing matters. That's what a nihilist is. And these people have proved over and over again that they fit exactly the description that they're labeled as. And there are a ton of offshoots of this group, which I want to make it very clear that the main reason why they do a lot of the things that I'm about to show you is to get the recognition for it. There is to get the recognition individually, even if they're part of a group or a group that, you know, they just want their group out there in any way, whether it's negative or positive. This group isn't looking for positive attention. I'll just be candid about it and tell you they extort children out of sexual material. They extort children into cutting their wrist, hurting themselves, cutting areas of their body, engraving their names into their chests, their legs, their arms, their faces. They've had children commit suicide live on camera in front of audiences of people while they get cheered on. They convince children to kill animals in their house, like their pet cats, their pet dogs. They try to convince them to kill their family members, commit mass murders, bestiality, incest, you name it. A lot of it has already been done. And I have a lot of examples of that to show you today. And that is only with 2 of these groups that we've been doing passive reconnaissance on for a short period of time. There is plenty of other active investigations that are going on with other organizations and that I may or may not have involvement in. But what I can show you today is based on what Sentinel and I have found in a relatively short period of time. And it's going to blow your mind. It's absolutely disgusting. And there's more to it, but it was created by it was unbelievable, but a 15-year-old boy started this group in Texas.
A 15-year-old boy?
15-year-old boy started the group. He was the beginning of it. And he, from what I read, was a nonverbal kid that had some, issues. I don't want to glorify this kid or talk about him in any way where anyone would feel bad for him, because he created something that is the worst thing next to, all the other things that we've talked about. This is probably one of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. We'll see how you feel about it when you see it. But it was all started from this kid, and there's something called, I'm not sure if you're familiar with it, but it's called the COM. And the COM is a collection of mostly teenagers, but there's adults in there as well that congregate on the internet. The COM is short for the community. And they congregate on the internet, and they dox, meaning like release personal information on people. They SWAT, meaning they send SWAT teams to people's houses just to, scare them and to get recordings of them being swatted so they can use it to brag. Like, for example, they'll call in to a local department and say, hey, my name is John Doe. I have bombs strapped to the windows. I have my family strapped to the chairs. I'm going to shoot them all if any police enter the door. They're going to say all these horrible things so that a SWAT team, responds. And that's what swatting is. I've personally been swatted 3 times, 2 of which police actually showed up, and it was a big deal. I had a video of one of them, but I never gave them the recognition that it happened. There was no proof that it happened other than my recordings of it that I saved on my phone. I didn't want to give them the credit, So that's the COM. The 764 group actually came from the COM, and that doesn't mean all of the people in the COM have their own problems. They do their own stupid stuff. They've been torturing me since I was on your show 3 years ago, releasing my credit report, my personal information, sending pizzas to my houses, USPS boxes to my houses, and on pretty much thousands of boxes, no, literally thousands.
Sending what to your house?
USPS boxes.
Why?
Because they're free. You can order them on the USPS site, and they'll just keep sending pallet after pallet after pallet of these boxes. It's just to be annoying, though. They do it to be annoying and to get a reaction out of you. That's the COM. And a lot of them don't like me, and that's, I'll keep the COM pretty short because they're a whole different topic, but usually just annoying. I wouldn't say that they're hackers. I would say they're more annoying, and they have technical abilities. Getting information on people, the way that they mostly do it is they like to use the term TLO, which TLO is just something TransUnion offers to run a report on somebody. And they'll use a stolen private investigator's account to run somebody's name, get their social credit report, and all of the above. And if they don't have access to one, they'll pay $15 to someone that does. And that's how they got my information, which I don't care. I genuinely don't. My credit's frozen. My address is out there publicly. There's nothing about me that they're going to find that isn't already out there. It doesn't matter to me. You can dox me all you want. You could try to swat me, but I know all the police all around my area. They're fully aware that people are going to try swatting me and have continued to try to swat me. I'm not really worried about them. It's more so the 764 group that stemmed from the COM, which is a whole different set of evil that I've never seen, where they want to they want to sextort children. And sextortion, usually, for the people out there that are not familiar with that term, sextortion is when somebody sends naked photos, could be an adult or a child, and the second that those photos are sent, they say, if you don't send me X amount of dollars, I'm going to send this to your family, your friends, your school, your loved ones, and they try to extort them out of funds. Most of those sextorters, not that it's okay by any means, but most of them are just trying to make money. They're not trying to do anything evil. And 9 times out of 10, they're never going to send that to anybody. Because they're never going to get paid if they do, number one. And number two, they're if there was a child that they have nude images of, they would be distributing CSAM, child sexual abuse material. So, it happened. The reason why I say that is I have a family member, it's very close to me, that it happened to. He sent stupid pictures. He was an underage boy, and I won't say his name, obviously, but I had to they coach him through how to deal with these people, and they wanted money. They didn't want any of this other evil stuff. And I got them to click a link, the scammers. I found out that they were in, a foreign country that was, I believe it was Nigeria. It was a couple years ago, but I think it was Nigerian scammers. And I told them, just ignore them. Just don't say anything to them. Ignore them. I know it's hard. I know you probably feel like they're going to ruin your life, but they have no benefit in sending your photos to anybody. And they didn't. That doesn't mean that it doesn't happen. It just didn't happen to him. And most of the time, why would they? It's wrong. And I'm not saying it's right. I'm not trying to make it sound okay. But in comparison to what these sextorters do, it's not even comparable, man.
I remember you telling me about these guys the last time we met in Florida.
Yeah.
How bad this shit is.
Yeah, I've been working on this for a long time. And with Sentinel, it's been a few months, but I've been working on it for a long time. So it is.
How did these guys pop on your radar?
So I was a federal agent actually gave me a heads up about them. And from there, I never heard of them at that point. And I started digging in, just reading the public stuff out there. And it blew my mind. It was like the clearest definition of, evil. Like I keep saying the word, but it is just pure evil. And that's what they want. That's what they're going for. But it's just hard to believe that people out there exist that are even worse, or if not the same level of evil as the other people that I'm fighting against. And a lot of them are teenagers and young 20-somethings. But, there's the random 30, 40-plus-year-olds that are involved in this as well, that they just want to cause harm. They want to cause destruction. And what is the next level? It's, it starts with, and I'll get into some of the terminology, but they call it cut signs, or I've heard in some of the groups, cut sluts is what they'll call the little girls, where they cut a username into their arm or their breasts or their legs or whatever part of their body. And it started with that. And then it was, okay, what's the next step? Kill the animals. And then, hold up a username on a piece of paper, and then hold the dead animal in the other hand. And, like that group will then send that message everywhere. And then the person thinks by doing that, like the child thinks by doing that, they're going to stop. They're going to leave them alone. And what ends up happening is they know that victim's just going to keep doing whatever they ask, because they've already done it, and now they're in possession of the news, and these people will send it to your family and friends. And it's just unbelievable. There's more to it, but I want to show you some of the content and some of the questions that I'm sure you're going to have. I can answer, and I want to. There's just so much to this that I could go on like an hour tangent trying to explain it. But could I just start by showing you this situation, and then we'll take it from there.
So from here forward, I'm going to play the rest of what Ryan has to say to Sean about this group. And they also get into just a little bit what I discussed several months ago, which is the absolute refusal of major applications for kids like Roblox, basically harboring these fucking child predators. Now, the clip is about an hour in length, but it may be one of the most important hours that you have ever spent listening to a podcast. And I say that in all sincerity. Again, a lot of this is going to be hard to hear, but you need to hear it. So here's that clip, and then we'll talk about it.
How many members does this 764 group have?
If I don't have an exact number on it, but if I had to guess, 20,000, 30,000.
20,000 people.
Oh, it's huge. Like, there is no shortage of these scumbags. No shortage. The average vulnerable target that they're going for is 9 to 17 years old.
9
to 17. That's the average. They'll go for anybody, but that's usually what they run into in these games like Minecraft and Roblox and other social media apps. And without going into more of these notes, because I'm just trying to hit some key points and not forget them. They're targeting minors, and I have a few screenshots to show you this, on mental health forums. So they'll go to a mental health forum where they see somebody is struggling as a kid, saying that they're either being bullied in school and they don't want to live anymore, or that they're self-harming already. And they'll pretend. So they lure from those groups. They groom them by trying to be their friend or pretend to be their boyfriend, and give them actual mental health therapy. Sorry, it's hard for me to even say this. Mental health therapy. And I'll read those conversations, some of the grooming that they do, and they even have playbooks on how grooming, and they have an over 240-page manual on how to do this to children that they share amongst each other. And they, like I said, they're all in mental health forums. They even I have a tweet that I took a screenshot of. I'll show you, where it's a group that where they're saying, like, join here if you're struggling with mental health, and it's just a direct link into one of these horrible groups that, as soon as that person or child, mostly children, believes that person's their boyfriend or their friend or their girlfriend, one or the other, and they send those nude photos, the second that happens, then they go right into the extortion and extreme violence. All they want to create what's called, and like I said, I'll get into the slang, they want to create what's called a lure book. So it's like a collection of all of their extortion material that they could use against them. FBI classified 764 as as a domestic
terrorist group.
Terrorist group. Yep. And then there's a bunch of people that were arrested. But where do you see the time that a lot of these people got? It's nothing, man. It's nothing. And some of them are having children kill themselves. Like, it's mind-blowing. It is absolutely mind-blowing. But I'll read.
Are you talking about time they got in prison?
Time they got in prison, yeah.
They've had people kill themselves through extortion, and what is this sentence? What is it?
So I'll read you some of the stories. Okay, so these are just notes that I wrote for this podcast, and I figured that I would do a lot of it off the top of my head, but it gets me so worked up that I'm probably better off just making sure I get this on point. But 14-year-old, and I'm just going to use their first names, the victims, even if it is public. 14-year-old Elliot joined a black metal music forum during a tough family transition and started at a new high school. 764 members pretended to be supporting quote-unquote friends, directing him to gore sites, which later escalated to him carving satanic symbols into his skin and producing hundreds of self-harm photos categorized as CSAM. So that was one, and something that I learned is that self-harm pictures within themselves, even if it's children, from what I read, is not considered CSAM, like child sexual abuse material, but if it is sexualized, it turns into child sexual abuse material. So that's a weird thing for me. I don't fully understand that. Another one, teenage girl named Eve was found in another Discord server. Discord's a chat application that a lot of them use, by a 764 member posing as a friend. He faked giving her a ton of affection, support, which in quotes, which she desperately needed at that time, which is what she said. Then extorted naked photos and forced her on video to carve usernames deeply into her skin, and strangle and behead her pet hamster. A member said, "Bite the head off, or I'll F your whole life up," in quotes. And later, she cut herself deeply in the bath to, as they told her to, turn the water red. And there's, a video of her in a bathtub that's red, full of her blood. They even sent a SWAT team to her home, as well as leaving permanent 764 scars all over her body. She's still in therapy, and she did all of this in her bedroom closet. And I have the pictures to show you this with this particular victim. A 25-year-old man, deep in depression, was targeted by a female that was also recruited into 764, so likely a victim herself that was converted into an extorter, which happens often, by the way.
That happened? That's common?
That's common because these kids, they're already, a lot of them struggling with mental health issues. They find a group that they think are their friends somehow, and then they start extorting other kids. So it's a vicious cycle that needs to be broken. She started, so in this particular case, the 25-year-old man, deep in depression, was targeted by a female, recruited into 764. She started daring him to commit self-harm videos, which later escalated to him dousing himself in gasoline, lighting himself on fire in his hotel room. As the group watched and laughed at him, he passed away, See screenshot I wrote of the virtual funeral, because that's what he said. Watch my virtual funeral. And I want you to hear these idiots in the YouTube video as this guy lights himself on fire.
Bishkek, called Tashtar Ata. He found a spot in the snow, set up his phone, and lit himself on fire. The entire ordeal played out live on a Discord call. At least 29 users were in the server while it happened, as he was propping up his phone, sitting on the ground, praying, then dousing himself. Some were recording, others were cheering. In one clip, someone shouts out the group. Another calls her by name.
Shout out to Discord people. Fucking Xanax. Shout out to fucking 764.
Shout out to everyone. Fucking big shout out to Money and big shout out to SMLK. And we gotta say,
it took you so fucking long. We fucking
6-3 victory is better than 7-6-4.
That's the worst death possible.
You hear that? So he said that is the worst death possible, man. And they're laughing about it. And what you didn't see on the screen is a blurred video of him lighting himself on fire dead on the ground as these people are laughing at him and naming out their groups that are not associated to 764 but offshoots of 764. So that's from a public YouTube video, but relates to that story I was just telling you. Another one, in one case, a person who was already arrested threw a brick through the window of a pregnant teen's car that was lured from Roblox. She threatened to report the group to NCMEC, National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, and the shock put her into cardiac arrest, killing her and the baby. The guy was arrested for being part of the COM, meaning the 764 group, and he had his own offshoot, and was charging $50 to $200 for bricking, swatting, and doxing services. So bricking, like I said, I'm going to go over these terms, but bricking means show up at somebody's house and either throw a brick through their window, shoot it up with a gun, vandalize it, break windows, do something, record the video, and post it. And sometimes when they do this bricking thing, they'll do it to their own members to see if they're loyal and like won't call the cops, and if the cops come, they won't snitch. They'll literally do it as a loyalty test, which gets even worse in a bit. But that's what bricking is, and that guy is arrested. 22-year-old member of one of the groups kidnapped and raped a 12-year-old girl in Virginia. He was convicted and sentenced to, this is a long sentence, to 350 years in prison. 764 group also leveraged animal torture, incest, self-harm, bestiality from their victims. 17-year-old member Nino live streamed himself attacking an 82-year-old man, and 2 weeks later he murdered a 74-year-old woman on video who he believed to be Roma to prove his loyalty to the group. He was only sentenced to 14 years, and I have a video of that, which is very disturbing. He hurt an old man terribly and murdered an old woman gruesomely live on Discord, the chat application, just to prove to these people that he had what it takes to be part of their group.
What the fuck is wrong with these people?
And did you hear the sentence? 14 years. 14 years.
Where was that?
I don't know off the top of my head.
14 years?
I would imagine it wasn't the United States, because if he believed them to be Roma, that's like a usually other countries. So another one, a 13-year-old girl. This happened 4 days ago.
Where?
In Washington State. A 13-year-old girl was found hanging in a parking lot in Washington while live streaming her suicide. The chat was encouraging her to take her clothes off because they said it would be hotter, quote unquote. And I have the article about that, but she is the criminal that convinced her originally to live stream this was he was dubbed with hundreds of crimes, and he victimized more than 30 children alone by himself. This one guy. The 13-year-old girl was hanging in a parking lot dead while the chat was telling her to get naked because it would be hotter. And that just happened, so I don't know about an arrest on that yet. Slang, which I'll get into the videos in a second. So cut signs, cut sluts, carving names, group names into their skin very deeply, not like scratching a little bit, like going in, permanent
Told me in
scars.
Florida that one girl was swallowing razor blades,
A little boy, yeah.
or a boy.
Yeah, a little boy was swallowing razor blades on camera. Allure book, Allure book is a victim collage of CSAM that they will use to threaten to show family, friends in school. Luring via social media, online games, leverage for nudes, and later extort via self-mutilation, suicide, and all of the other things. Like one of them is lighting a homeless person on fire with a Molotov cocktail. That's something else that I'll show you. Swatting, sending a SWAT team to a victim's house, tricking the local PD into believing an actual crime is being committed in their house. Tradecraft, that's the evasion playbook. So meaning they're encrypted chat rooms, and you need proof of crime to enter. So, either it's a combination of you doing self-harm, showing the victims that you've had do things to themselves, murder videos of you doing things to animals or people, something that they call that tradecraft. To get initiated into these groups, you need to prove. Tradecraft is the evasion side of things, like how to hide. I don't know why I have it on the same line here, but the proof of crime to enter is what most of them require for you to join these private groups, where these people are at. Unless you're a victim, they'll just bring you in, obviously. Bricking, I explained what that is, throwing a brick or gunshot at the house, or multiple gunshots, where one of the cases was a teenage girl pregnant with a baby, and the brick went through her back windshield, put her into cardiac arrest, and killed her and the baby, just from a brick going through the windshield.
Why would a victim want to join this? Do they
wish I
feel
could
like
tell you.
they don't belong anywhere else after they've become a victim because of the extortion?
It could definitely be the case.
Why would you want to do that to somebody else after you've just been through it?
I don't know. I can't put myself in their heads, because I can't comprehend this as a human being, how you could even do something like this.
Me neither.
So I don't know how a victim could turn into one of these scumbags, but it happens often, unfortunately. And they're young, impressionable kids. So the way I look at it, as I was young at one point in online chat rooms, and thank God I never had anything like this happen to me, and I never sent a naked photo in my life. So I've never had as a possibility, but I could see with some of the hacking communities I hung around doing illegal things, I could see myself doing something stupid that I normally wouldn't be doing otherwise, because I wanted to fit in with that specific group. And, you talk about a 12, 13-year-old girl or boy, maybe these people have convinced them what they're doing is okay. So I don't know. I'm just trying to rationalize why somebody could be that evil, but that it is a thing. And then the last one I want to add here, Sean, is blood writing, which is a very common thing they like to do, which is smearing blood on the wall, usually satanic symbols, usernames, and group names, in their own blood from the cut signs. So from there, I kind of want to put it in your hands here, where you can see what do you think the best way of doing this is? Because I have them organized in folders for the different categories of stuff. So do you have any questions before I show you that stuff, or do you want to see it and then talk about it?
Just flip it around and show it to me.
There's a lot. It's going to take a second to go through. So
What am I looking at here?
So I don't have them in order, because this is a shared cloud thing, but luring, grooming, like if you start with luring, and you see here, like just double click it, join cool friendly, if you want to read them.
Join cool friendly server to help you go through your hard times.
And that's a direct
Discord link.
Yeah, direct link for one of their communities. And then you hit the right arrow key here.
Outpatient Wellness Center.
And then if you read their description.
No CP, gore leaking, no drugs, guns, or nudity, no advertising. Join group. Oh, fuck. cultist Discord's thread. Join if you are any of the following: mentally ill, fatherless, daddy issues, schizo,
borderline
BPD.
personality disorder, and then fem cells, like you act like a girl or feel like a girl or something like that. So that's just some of the luring. It's easy, this is how kids could join a group and not know like what they're joining in advance. They think, oh, this is a group full of people that might help me with whatever I'm going through. And if you scroll, to grooming, here's this is one they share amongst each other.
Grooming. Grooming is very commonly used and easy way to get content. Usually when you have groomed your victim, she will do exactly as you say, no matter what. You have to make your victim think that you are her god and that you own her and forever will. You can find victims on games like Roblox or on social media platforms like X, formerly known as Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram, etc. Once you have found your victim, you have to spend a lot of time on her, make her think you can relate to a lot of stuff and play games with her. Call her cute nicknames when you have talked for a little, like princess, darling, honey, etc. This will make her more attached to you because females love being called nicknames. Once you have talked for a while, you are going to ask her to be your girlfriend, which she most likely is going to say yes to. Now that she is under your control, you may start asking her for stuff like nudes, personal information, etc. If she doesn't do self-harm already, then you must extort your victim. But if she does, she will almost guaranteed cut for your dirty needs when you have done all of this.
Yep. And then here's, if you just skip that one, this is just you don't have to read the whole thing. This is a guy grooming a victim.
I'm really sorry and I love you a lot. You're the most beautiful, cutest, sweetest, most adorable girl in the world. But the only problem is that you're not my girl and I want you to be. I know I'm somewhat demanding of things. I'm sorry for that. And I'll work on that issue of mine. I'm just saying, I really want you. You're the sweetest girl in the whole world, and I'm like obsessed with you. I don't know, but I'm sorry for threatening you. I thought I was going to lose you, so I just started saying stupid shit. I would really like you or anything. You're too sweet and cute for me to do something like that to you. If you gave me a chance and we date, I promise and vow on my life I'll make it the best RLS you'll ever have.
I have no idea what that one is.
And hopefully the last. We can have fun all the time, and I'll text you nonstop. I'll block every girl on my friends list, even the guys if you want that. I won't talk to anyone for you. I really like you a lot, and I'm really sorry. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Is it the same guy?
Is it? No, it's a different person. Each one's different.
I don't understand this shit, but what are you talking about? LOL.
I totally
wasn't
want stalking your account. What you doing? Totally. I'm in bed right now. Papa finna get in shower. She says, I'm tired. He says, take a shower with Papa. Or he says, take a shower with Papa. She said, I'll be naked. Scary. He goes, Papa will be naked too. It's okay. Daughter's supposed to take showers with Papas. Papa will make you squeaky clean, okay? She says, yes, clean me, touch all over me. He says, I will. Papa will have to touch your privates though. And this is in the grooming stage, remember, where they don't know they're about to get extorted.
Jeez.
I mean, there's this you could see, please don't leave me. I'll do anything. I'll do it fine. I love you so much, more than anything, anyone else in the entire world. You make me so happy when I hear your voice. I smile so much. Your voice is so pretty. You're the most beautiful girl in the entire world, and I hope you know that. You make me so happy. I hope you know how much I love you so much. I'm really sorry for the things I've done. Please forgive me. I love you. Respond. I'm sorry. He just is blowing up her messenger because she's not answering him. And that's the grooming side of things, which, appears, if you were to not know anything else, it appears like a guy that wants to get, hook up with a girl that's young. Sorry, skip some of that. And then from here, Starts to
Oh,
get
boy.
into things that are a little more rough. So here's some of the guides. You already read grooming, the extortion one, if you want to read that.
To start off, for you to be able to extort, you must also have the ability to groom. Without grooming, you won't even get any information or any nudes. And if you groomed your victim, you pretty much have control of her. To extort a female properly, you must have the following. Personal information, addresses, names, phone numbers, and nudes. Once you have this stuff, you may start threatening your victim with, for example, sending her nudes to her parents, swatting, and leaking personal information, etc. If she doesn't do as you say, examples, make a blood sign, make a cut sign, kill your cat, and kill yourself. At the end, if you have done everything correctly, you should have gotten exactly what you want to. Remember, never say content is content, because no one wants to see some shitty cat scratches.
Right, meaning there's content is content. What they're saying is they don't want you to grab like a paper clip and write a username into their arm. They want you to deeply cut it into there where it's going to permanently scar and bleed badly. And you read that. There's a website, and I won't name the website, but there's a website that has, look how long that takes to read, the average. They have a whole handbook on people, like they train each other on how to extort minors into doing these horrible things. It's unbelievable.
Jeez. This is the prologue of the handbook. The handbook is a comprehensive guide that provides deep insights into the tactics and strategies that can be used to blackmail and exploit victims, primarily through the use of compromising photos or videos. It delves into aspects of coercion and highlights the various methods to maintain control.
Oh, coercion.
Coercion. Instill fear and coerce victims into complying with the perpetrator's demands. Additionally, it offers step-by-step instructions for everything there is to know about carrying out a successful scheme, from identifying potential targets to executing the blackmail process to creating convincing fake identities, maintaining anonymity online, monetizing, and safely storing content, ensuring that the perpetrator remains untraceable. This is not a handbook to teach victims how to protect themselves or seek help, but rather to teach perpetrators how to locate and exploit their victims. So, my dear reader, if you choose to go further, it is at your own risk. You've been warned, but on the other side, you may find a way to unleash your deepest desires. We can all only hope, right?
Yeah, so I cut the book at that point, but there's 240-page book, and here's what they would talk about for a 14-year-old, and they rank it based on, like, you can read it. It's crazy.
Choose this age if you're specifically seeking young victims who can be controlled for a long time. 14-year-old identity. Victim reach, 3 stars. Receiving nudes, 3 stars. Success, 5 stars. Long-term victim, 4 stars.
Yeah, and they're doing that for a 14-year-old. They're saying that's the odds of all of them things happening. This is, yeah, so girl, if I can skip right to it.
Well, here I am making another video.
It should be around.
I just saw her room though.
No, this is not it. Here's that girl right here.
What is this?
This is just a girl. She doesn't hurt herself, but listen to what they say.
Just please no.
Okay, well, listen to us, babe. Come on. We're trying to help you out.
I just want to be left alone and leave the
I
server.
understand. But it's not that simple.
Can I please just do that?
You want to leave the server? I don't know if you ask her. I think she's got to work for it.
Yep, definitely.
The fuck is that? Are you like dyslexic or something? Holy shit.
I'm looking in the camera to do it.
Dude, you're stupid. Hey, can you hear us? Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, what's up? Yeah, I'm 27 years old, by the way, and I want your daughter to do stuff for me.
Okay, that's fine. I'll report you to the police.
Oh, I'm sure you will, fatty. Can you leave the room, though? I'm busy talking with your daughter. I just saw her tits, and she's like 16, I'm 27. Make her lift up her shirt.
You think it would end here, right? Watch what happens. The girl's back. The dad gives her the computer back.
What?
Yeah, watch.
I don't want them. They're gonna dox me.
See?
You want to
He's
die?
back.
Do you want to die tonight? Do you?
And he ends it with, "Do you want to die tonight?" But the dad gives that girl the access to the internet after he just saw and heard, not even her hurting herself,
What
but
the
them threatening
fuck?
her. That's a bad parent, in my opinion. Yeah, this girl's just cutting her ponytail, but it's very sad.
I don't know. Should we press send?
Fine. No. This much, okay?
Go.
Start cutting. Chop, 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 chop.
Fucking safety scissors.
Yeah, they are really bad.
Keep going.
Please, just leave me alone.
This is the extortion side of things. I wanted to show you some, not as, I don't want to show you videos of, what you're thinking, because it's too much. These are some of the cut signs.
Oh my gosh, dude.
That is the name of a person.
That is fucking deep cuts.
And that's the name of the group. That's another name of the group with, just pointless hate. This is very deep.
Holy shit.
And if you read this one, oh no, hold on, let me get you the first one so it makes sense. Right here. It's hard to read, but it says,
Laughing as they called me names, reposted my videos and pictures. I stripped myself down. I don't recognize a single square inch of my body. It's all branded, cut up, and bruised. I hate them so much.
and then that's the name of the group that's cut into her stomach, that part of the groups. Here's some, they're called blood signs, where they cut themselves and put the blood on the wall. And a lot of times it's satanic things, which I have one you can read.
You want to read it? I don't want to read the wrong names.
The username made me paint the walls of Eden with my blood, snuffed my humanity. Where is your God now? And it's a wall covered in their blood with satanic symbols that they drew onto the wall. Very, very graphic of they cut themselves deeply and write this into the walls. I sold my soul to the group name, written on this wall with handprints of blood, upside down crosses, pentagrams. I sold my soul to that group name again, completely different victim.
Do you want us to put these up?
I mean, you're welcome to take all of this.
I mean, has anybody done this? Is this...
There's some of this is, like almost all of this is public. I wanted to make sure I wasn't putting anything illegal on your show.
Public where? Is this...
On different forums and stuff. Animal abuse. There's a girl holding up her cat, covered the head of the cat, but that's the guy's username, very popular in this, all of these cults, all these groups. And that's just a victim, but she literally murdered her cat. And this is a guy, completely separate situation. He killed his cat, victim. That's a cat, dead cat's body part, and they used its blood to write the group's name.
Oh.
There's some rough stuff, so get ready for this.
Yeah, I'm going to do it.
What the fuck, man?
This is on a call with somebody random in the group.
So this dude, we can't put that up.
Obviously.
This dude just stomped on an old woman's head until she was dead, and then slit her throat.
Yep, just to prove to that group that he was worthy. Here's a suicide from somebody that was trying to do, his own version of anti-extortion. He wrote a suicide note, put himself online. puts up the note to prove himself, and that's his suicide note, and then he just ends it. And that's it for him. It's a guy that was, I guess, already knocked out. I don't know if he died or did not die, but these are all different individuals, by the way. Like the criminals.
Holy shit.
That's somebody. I took the video off of this because I didn't want you to have to see someone burning alive. But that's a homeless person fully engulfed in flames and murdered. And then him in the chat bragging about it.
Jeez, dude.
So that, and then the last one that I'll show you is the miscellaneous, which same username from earlier, has me and my 2-year-old sister captive. He's a sick man. And then you see her with her child.
And one day I will record it and I will fucking show everybody. I will show everybody. Haley, either I myself or I will kill you. I'm not fucking joking. This shit over an e-girl, Tori. Over an e-girl, over fake shit. I promise you. Either I die or you fucking die and you watch me laugh, smile at you crying in pain. Stupid fucking bitch. You are worth nothing. Nothing.
Okay.
I promise you, Tori. You will be there to watch.
Okay, calm down. Okay. Bro, I
So
understand.
he's threatening her life. I mean, it's just a group chat full of people that are talking. We're almost done. Here's somebody right here who, if you read this one.
Little information about how I started this. I've always been a psychopath and always wanted to watch girls inflict pain upon themselves for me. My earliest cut sign I've ever got was a single K back in 2016. Over the years, I've stopped taking breaks, come back on new aliases, but I have a total of over 2,600 plus groomed victims. My goal is to reach 3,000 before I get feted.
Welcome to my suicide chat. I'm trying to host my own virtual funeral. This is the guy who lit himself on fire in the hotel and had everybody there. There were, I think it was 30-something people watching. Here's to enter this group, you have to give either cut signs, deep cuts, blood signs, suicides, or bricking. You have to do arson, stabbings, or graffiti, and you need like these different amount of pieces of each thing to get into certain levels of these groups to prove that you are real. So that's part of what I was talking about with the crime proof. And then this is someone admitting to things.
I have little children cut themselves for me and do weird shit. And like I might have people like strangle themselves with a fucking cable or kill their pets or just do weird shit, and I record it or have other people record it. And then like I'm part of a cult, like a really bad people cult, but I'm also part of some other shit too, just like lame shit.
Oh, who knows with that guy? That was just a random piece of evidence. Here's Roblox, which I'll get more into after this, but you see that's their logo right there. And then that's a shirt that says I love CP, and it's in the game itself. And then me not a victim, like all of these things that should be censored by the game, not being censored. This, and this. Donate for CP. And the thing about Roblox is they're making 30% of every single sale that goes through their game. And I'll explain that more too once this is over. They're making money off of this. Why stop here? There isn't a drought of kids on Roblox. So this person's talking about how many kids there are, and this is a known group for these people. This is a username that if you put that into ChatGPT, I guarantee you it would know exactly what it means. But if there's no AI doing moderation on Roblox, that stuff gets by. which if the people can't see it, it's pedophile rapist. That's the username, but it's spelled wrong. This person's saying, do you like play? Because if you did, I'd you. And this is unbelievable. So imagine a premium service for a free app. So Discord, the chat application, is a free application. It's like about $10 for their premium features. And all you get in their premium features is emojis, like different, little emojis, being able to color your profile with different colors and stuff, and maybe a larger file size limit to send. But that's all you get for Discord Nitro is what this is called. And this conversation says, I got a 2-week Nitro trial if you want one. Guy says, give. He says, yes. Guy says, will she cut for me? He says, yes, we'll cut on camera. He says, all right. Other guy says, if I tell her to. He says, can you tell her to? He said, Nitro first. He said, all right. So he traded a victim for $10 and the ability to send emojis in a chat application. That's how petty and ridiculous this is. Here's an 11-year-old victim they're selling for money.
Oh, man. What do you mean they're selling her?
Read it.
For sale. 11-year-old girl. She is very naughty girl, has been deflowered, yet still in ripe enough condition. No visible signs of abuse. Will listen when she is put under enough pressure. Make sure to give her enough attention and she'll never leave you. Price, $1,200. Only accepting Monero payments.
Which is an untraceable cryptocurrency. So, but you see how she's got the group name written here?
Yeah.
So she's not only being sold by people that are into children, adults, but she is being sold by these satanic scumbags that are doing that.
So is she a hostage or is this,
It's hard to tell. That she may have been forced to take a photo like that, or she may actually be a hostage. Yeah, so I think that is all of that I have in this folder, at least. Is there anything that I didn't elaborate on there?
Well, I think we need to get these to my guys so we can put some of this, at least some of it.
Some of it. I want to show
on camera. So, dude, what the fuck, man? So this is, oh man.
It's rough, man. I'm sorry you had to watch that. I just wanted you to understand how severe this actually is.
And these are little kids.
Little girls.
Little kids.
And boys.
So so what are the most popular games that the 764 cult is luring their victims out of?
Roblox, Minecraft, Instagram, TikTok, Snapchat.
Okay, tell me about Roblox and Minecraft, because I don't know anything about gaming. I don't game. I don't.
Understood. I don't either, but it's part of the investigation. You gotta, a lot of times I'm investigating, I end up on these games or apps, and Roblox is the one that I'll focus on the most because that seems like the majority of the issues right now.
I know little kids that use that game.
There's 75 million active daily users. So it's the largest children's game in the world right now.
I've been telling people too about what you've been telling me for at least 6 months now about the 764 cult. None of their kids are off of it yet.
Yeah, most people they throw their iPad at their kid, they put them on Roblox, and like I said earlier, little cartoon characters running around the screen, no harm in it. But, something that most people see, like you didn't seem to even know, but like they just banned a guy, there's like a young guy who was actually groomed and had issues for himself on Roblox, who has a popular YouTube channel. He started catching predators on Roblox, just regular old predators that are interested in children, not these guys. And he got, to my knowledge, there could be more. There was 6 arrests. I saw 6 mugshots that came from this one guy. His name is Schlepp. And he went like mainstream on the media because Roblox sent him a cease and desist letter for being a vigilante on their platform. They did a press release saying that they're banning vigilantes from Roblox, did a whole statement. You should see this press release. It's unbelievable that their excuse. all their excuses of why they think vigilantes should not be a part of Roblox. There are a ton of predators. Is this
publicly available?
Yeah.
We'll post that up right now too.
Absolutely.
So this is the official statement from Roblox saying why vigilantes shouldn't be taking down pedophiles and sex off of their platform. They want these people on there. They want these fucking people on there to.
That's essentially what it's meant to me.
Your children, and your children are on here, and I'm fucking telling you, you better get them off. You better fucking get them off. It is going to happen to you.
Yes, these people, they're sitting predators. If you've noticed,
Dude, what the fuck? What fucking parent keeps their fucking kid on there after we're telling them this shit?
I don't know, man. I don't know, but it's unbelievable to me, and predators hang out in spots where they can prey on victims. That's why there's so many teachers, why there's so many police officers, why there's so many, parks that things happen at, or gym teachers, or people in positions of power where they have access to children. That's where predators end up. And then people are surprised by it. They wonder why. Like, why do you think these people took the job in the first place? Do you think that they weren't a predator? They weren't a pedophile prior to taking the job? Like, they've always been one. So when they're on Roblox, and it's the largest children's game in the world, obviously
it's the largest children's game in the world.
Yeah, largest in the world. So when
largest children's game in the world doesn't want people on the platform saving fucking kids.
That's exactly right.
Are you fucking listening to this shit, people? The largest video game platform in the world doesn't want to take any fucking measures at all to save kids. In fact, they made a press release discouraging it.
Yes.
A cease and desist.
Cease and
Sorry,
desist
not a press
and a press release. Both.
And you're fucking paying this platform money. There's millions of people that are going to listen to this, and I'm fucking telling you, you are complicit in this shit.
100%. And let me tell you some more, Sean. So Roblox, if parents have their kids playing on it, if you're familiar with Fortnite, there's a similar in-game currency called V-Bucks in Fortnite, and Roblox is called Robux, like R-O-B-U-X.
Mm-hmm.
So if you went to Target or Walmart or CVS right now, we could go buy a Roblox gift card that a kid can cash in the game, and they get a Robux balance. So they'll get it for their birthday presents, or their parents will buy them these cards, which allows them to buy like outfits in the game or access to do fun things and in actual kids' games, right? Well, there's these public games where developers, like you and I, could be a developer for Roblox by just signing up to be a developer, put out a game, Roblox will host the game, and then everything that's purchased by these children in-game purchases, they make 30% commission on. So when they leave up a server that is talking about, child, in that example, they use CP as the term. And then there's other servers where they're blatantly wearing 764, shirts as characters. They got upside down crosses. They got satanic symbols. They have people in the chat logs talking about grooming. They have all these things, but they're profiting directly off of this stuff. And they don't have, to my knowledge, it's like it being the largest game in the world comes with some responsibility, for kids. And I believe you should have a full team full of people that are familiar with child crimes working in your content moderation team. And if you don't, then you should be hiring these quote unquote vigilantes that you're kicking off the platform that are getting arrested on your platform. You should be hiring them because obviously they're making more of an impact than Roblox is, at least publicly.
Roblox doesn't want to make an impact. They want this shit happening.
I guess.
They want this shit happening.
It's hard to believe,
otherwise, they wouldn't be sending fucking cease and desist letters to people who are trying to save kids.
Yeah, wait. I mean, let me just pull up the press
people
release.
Are fucking supporting this shit.
I want you to hear the title of this.
It's fucking wild.
The title of this.
Wild.
Roblox press release vigilantes. Like, this is not something I'm just coming up with off the top of my head. Let's see. I want you to hear the title of it. More on our removal of vigilantes from Roblox. And it goes into a very long press release that explains why they're removing vigilantes from their platform. Look at this. Why we remove vigilantes. the importance of accurate reporting, help Roblox remove bad actors.
What happened after this?
So they lost, I think it was, I might be off by a little bit, but $13 billion in market cap, I believe it was within 24 hours after releasing this and doing a cease and desist. The guy Schlepp went very public with the media. Chris Hansen partnered up with Schlepp to, like the YouTuber, to talk about this specific problem because it made no sense. That makes zero sense why they would want to get rid of vigilantes on their platform if they're not causing any harm other than just exposing the predators. And people, a lot of people, I'm sure, took their kids off of Roblox, but it doesn't take away from the fact that there's 75 million daily users. And another thing, outside of child predators, Roblox, I'll show you a picture with it, but before I show you the picture, there's a ton of Charlie Kirk There's a ton of Charlie Kirk assassination simulators in Roblox that are publicly facing that any child can join, that are very graphic. Some are photorealistic, some are cartoon, where they can play the role of the shooter. They can watch in the crowd as he bleeds out. They can, any child can join this, and I have photos of it so you can see.
This is on the most popular kids game in the fucking world?
Yes. So here's some screenshots of Roblox. If you join my Discord server, you'll see real CP. That's just one. Swat us, we dare you. You're based in your mother's basement, but look at that. That's there is another
Pentagram.
one. Yep. The Roblox in-game chat references Twist Sexual Fantasy 764 and the Age of Young Gamer. So if you look in there, join / that name, that's a very popular group for the comm.
So they don't even hide. They don't even hide.
Comm girl on cam / where the comm girl's at. Comm girl meaning like a girl.
They're telling you what they're gonna do before they do it.
Well, not all the time. Sometimes they lure them straight in here and they don't. In this case, they're straight up saying where to go watch it. And this is in game. Like in a children's game that should be blocking all of this. Kirk knew it was coming. Hi, Gabby. And you can see the photo of it happening on this character's shirt. There's a game you can literally go on the Roblox website.
Assassinate Charlie Kirk.
And just press the play button and just play it. And you see this.
Holy shit.
Yeah, you can use real V-Bucks to buy these t-shirts. Which, I'm not V-Bucks, I'm sorry, Robux. To buy these t-shirts. And, that means Roblox is making 30% off every sale of that t-shirt.
So Roblox is making 30% off selling gamer, what do you call that? Like a skin?
A skin, yeah.
A gamer skin, like an outfit for your character to wear that is Charlie Kirk shot in the fucking neck, bleeding to death.
Yep.
Roblox makes money off this shit.
They make money off of all of this. The predatory behavior.
And parents are supporting this. That's fucking genius.
It's unbelievable.
Because they're too fucking lazy to watch their own kids. That's what this is.
They're too lazy to watch their own kids, and they think that it's not going to happen to them, and their kids are smart enough to not fall into this trap. It's all these things. That is not the case. They're wrong. They're wrong, and I can tell you with absolute certainty, I do this every day. 6, almost 7 days a week of my life is dedicated to this topic, and I don't have a child. And when I do, I don't know how I'm going to act as a parent, but I could tell you for absolute sure, this is not going to happen in my house. It's not going to happen. My kids are not going to be part of these games. They're not going to be part of social media until a later age. I understand there'll be friends that are going to hand them the phone. I know they're going to break the rules, but I want and look, I can't speak on what I can't. I don't know. Maybe I have a kid that defies everything that I say, and I'll eat my words at that time. But right now, I can't understand why you would even let your child play the game. Why would you buy them Robux in the game? Why would you give them access to a computer if you see they're even playing it, knowing what you know right now? So not just Roblox, Minecraft too, any game where they're talking to strangers that is unrestricted, you should not let them play, especially at a very young age where they don't even know right from wrong. So that's, I could go on, or I can keep going on a rant, but parents are going to make decisions for themselves. And the question that I'm going to get asked, and I get asked by everybody, is what can you do about it? Well, the answer is 2 things. I wish I had a better answer. It's either sign up for a monitoring software like Bark, because Bark is very good for what it does. It monitors for bullying, monitors for sexual type of activity, it monitors for suicidal ideations, all of those things. I have no partnership in Bark. I just like their company. I think they do a great job. Custodio is another one that also monitors devices, but Bark is the one I know the most. They both, I'm sure, are great. And the most important one is being aware of what this stuff is. Do your research, watch the news, or Google search some of these terms on the news, 764 Group, The Calm, Roblox, Predators on the internet. Watch some of these podcasts, listen to some of Sean's episodes, get yourself familiar so that when you have a conversation with your kid, when you decide this is the right age to talk to them about this or that, then you have less of a chance of them falling into this vicious cycle. And if they do fall into it, they feel comfortable enough about it to come to you about it and tell you. And that's the best advice that I can offer you. I don't have a button that just erases predators off this planet. If I did, then half of my life would be a lot more free than it is right now. But
I got something, about this. This needs to spread. And so if you're a parent, when your kid's hanging around with other kids, because everybody's addicted to their tablet, because all these, I don't know what the fuck kids are doing with phones anyways. I mean, you said it perfectly the first episode. When you hand your kid a phone, you're not giving your kid access to the world. You're giving the world access to your kid.
Right.
I've said that many times since I've heard that come out of your mouth.
Yeah, I've heard you on that.
But, you need to be asking all the parents that your kids hang around with if their kid's on Roblox. If they're not if they are on Roblox, then you need to educate them. If they still don't give a shit, then you need to shame the fuck out of them. That's ridiculous. This shit's fucking crazy. Don't let your kids hang out with anybody that's playing that shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, remember, we might be old school, but like there was a time when going outside and riding around on your bike was like what hanging out with friends is. I know that's not the case anymore, and I know that parents are going to use that as an excuse. But
That's what we do at my house. We play outside. We do fucking bikes. We do creeks. We do woods. We do hikes. We do camping. We do forts. We do all that shit. We don't fuck around on the phone.
Yeah,
we
and
do
I love
not
that
fuck
about,
around
I
on
love
the
that.
phone.
And same thing with my business partners. They don't play that at all. Same as you. There's a lot of parents that will not allow it. Another thing that's like, and this is a whole different topic, but I just want to just breeze over it real quick. It could get very sensitive for people. And this has, like, if you're watching this, please do not take offense to this because it has nothing to do with you being into men, women, being trans. I don't care what you're into. You can look at me as a Christian or a right-wing extremist or whatever else that I've read about myself online. I don't care if you're gay. I don't care if you're trans. I don't care about any of the other things, gender fluid, all of the things I'm not thinking of right now. What I care about is if you're attracted to children, I don't like you. It's as simple as that. I don't care if you're a girl, a guy, a strawberry, whatever. I don't care. But when you bring these books into kids' schools at extreme young ages. Like I'm walking in Florida, which as most of you know is a pretty wild state and usually against a lot of things. A lot of people don't like Florida. I'm walking through Barnes and Nobles and I see that there's the gay BCs in there, binary. And I'm looking in the table of contents of some of these books. And one of them is talking about AIDS. It's like, how do you explain to your 4, 5, 6, 7-year-old kid what AIDS is without telling them what anal sex is?
Yeah.
You can't. You can't. So why bring these children's books into a school and expect kids to, like, I didn't learn about sex ed until maybe 7th, 8th grade in gym class. And it was like cartoons on the screen explaining what the body parts were. These kids are learning, like, for you to know what the opposite sex is and for sexes to be attracted to the same sex, they have to understand what sex is. And the only people that should be teaching their kids about anything sexual is their parents. So I don't know. That's a whole different topic, a whole different tangent, but I don't like these books. It's got nothing to do with lesbian, gay, LGBTQ. It has nothing to do with that. I really genuinely on my everything that I love, I don't care. But I do care when it comes to kids. I think they should make that decision as grown adults. And,
This is why so many people are moving to homeschool.
It makes sense that we're Montessori schools. But
tons of people are moving to the homeschool program because of shit like that.
Sorry, it's got me pissed off.
We've covered that stuff several times, Ryan. You don't have to cover it again. You don't have to cover it again.
It's just got me frustrated because it wasn't too long ago that I found out that it was in Florida bookstores. And
Stuff's
it's
been going on for a long, long time.
very frustrating.
But that's why you are seeing this wave of people move into homeschool, because they're just tired of the shit. They're not going to deal with it anymore.
And the last thing I want to say real quick is when talking about these cults and satanic groups and some of the stuff that we talked about and read, I understand the people that are watching, some of you are not going to be able to see these videos in full, pictures in full. But I want you to understand how graphic this stuff actually is, how much damage they're actually doing to children, to animals, to their family, to strangers, how volatile this could be. And remember where it starts. It starts on these games like Roblox, like Minecraft, websites masquerading themselves as mental health support groups. It could even be an actual mental health support group that they groom your child off of. So remember those things. If you don't see any of the content and you don't believe it's as severe as I'm saying that it is, and Sean saw with his own eyes, just trust me when I tell you that it is. And I pray to God that your kid never becomes a victim of any type of sexual crime, as well as any sort of crime or turn them into all of it. I don't even know what to say, Sean. It's got me. I've never spoke on this topic publicly.
We're doing
before.
it, Ryan. We're doing it. The parents that care are going to watch this. Their kids aren't going to be on Roblox anymore. They're going to be educated, just like the last time. And then there's going to be a handful of parents that just don't give a fuck.
And that's on them. That's on them. They can regret it when they figure it out themselves. Unfortunately,
just this alone is going. I mean, and look, if let's say Roblox disappears tomorrow. Let's just say 75 billion people watch this episode and they're all on Roblox. They're like, fuck it, I'm out. Then it's just going to move to something else.
Yeah.
So you have to be a vigilant parent. You have to pay attention to what your kids are doing online. But I think, the majority, at least this audience, people take action.
I believe it and I know it. And I meet people all the time that watched our first episode. And like I'm repeating myself, but have said that they've made changes based on what they saw on our episode, on other things I've done. But it doesn't matter where they hear me. I don't care if they hear me in a bathroom stall in Jamaica or Haiti. It doesn't matter. As long as they're hearing it from somebody, it doesn't have to be me, and they make a change. That's all I care about.
I did want to cover one more topic here.
Absolutely.
We were chatting about it last night. OnlyFans for teens.
Yes.
Brand Army. I had no idea this shit was going on either.
Yeah.
What the fuck is this? I mean, you educated me on it last night, but I'd like you to educate the audience on it.
Sure. So the brief, because that's a whole investigation within itself. So if you're not familiar with OnlyFans, it's a website where people can sell their bodies for money. That's for adults only. There's a site called Brand Army that you can join the site as early as 13 years old, and they have a policy of how many bikini / revealing photos that you can post before. So you could post, let's say, one bikini photo, and then it has to be 2 normal photos, and then another photo that's revealing, and then 2 more normal photos. And these are 13-year-old, girls or boys. But the other part of it is to subscribe to their content, where they're paying for the child's content, and the parents are actually directly profiting off of it. You have to be 18 years old to subscribe to the children's content. So it's so backwards. There's a house in Florida called the BOP house, BOP house, that BOP is like a slang term kids are using for like a slut or whatever. And there's a lot of OnlyFans girls living in there, but one of them was under 18, and they were waiting for her to turn 18 to bring her on to OnlyFans, and they were using Brand Army before that.
Are you fucking
serious?
Man.
Yeah, so they knew exactly what they're doing. It's not like a misunderstanding. This is very like the parents that are doing it and letting their kids use Brand Army are fully aware they're selling, they're sexualizing their children and profiting off of it. They're fully aware of it. I didn't think I was going to get this worked up this episode. My apologies.
Ryan, what are you doing to take care of yourself?
I'm
I worry about you, man.
Not a lot, man. But I got
live
some
in this.
advice recently. There's a great therapist in Texas that I was told about who specializes in some of this specific type of stuff. And, you know, a lot of this I feel like I compartmentalize, and I'm having some physical issues I talked to you about. I don't really want to get into that here. But even if I really feel like I'm able to compartmentalize and focus on this being a good thing, and I keep convincing myself it's worth it because it's a good thing, and I don't let it affect anything in my life, that's what I really believe. It's now physically proven to me that that isn't the case. It has to be subconsciously affecting me, so much so that it's becoming a problem I need to get help for. And I'm not saying that to pity me or to feel bad for me, but, you know, take many years of dealing with the most gruesome stuff that's, you know, probably worse than murder every single day. And I think anyone is going to have some type of reaction to it. If you didn't, I think there'd be something wrong with you. So at some point, I will seek out the right type of help. Therapy is a tough topic for me. As you know, I've owned 3 mental health facilities. So finding a good therapist is a little harder for me than your average person because I got some internal feelings about them. And then growing up with therapists, they weren't the most trustworthy. It's like they were more my friends than they were my therapist. It's tough for me to believe anything anyone says that's a therapist. But if and when that one in Texas works out, I'll be happy to do it. And any other thing, I'll update you, and, you know, I'll let you know. But yeah, I need to take care of myself.
Ryan, I want to bring this up because we've had several conversations about this. Last night you were telling me stuff, and I'm not going to get specific, but it is very much affecting your life and people who are close to you that are around you. And, you know, I know, dude, different sector, not as dark as the shit that you're in, but spent a lot of time at war. I just want to fucking tell you, man, like, I get it. I know that every time that you need to take off to get help, you think of that as there's one more child that's not going to get saved. Dude, you cannot fucking think like that. You have to take care of you, because if you don't, this shit is all going to come crashing down, and then you will not be able to function. And then there's going to be a shit ton of kids that aren't going to be saved because you're not right. So look, dude, you have to fucking take care of yourself. You have to go on vacations. You have to be around people that love you. You have to get help. You have to clear your head. You have to do these things, or it's not going to end well for you, man. It's not.
I appreciate you saying that.
I want to say this in front of this audience because they're going to back me up.
Yeah, look, I respect you. I respect you. And I know that you know what PTSD looks like. I know you know what trauma is. And if you're telling me I need it, I believe you. I take your word for it. You know, it's there'll be a time where you get a text from me randomly, and I tell you I'm doing this, I'm doing that, it's gonna happen. It's just I pushed it off for long enough. You're right. I get what you're saying. It's just so much easier for me to push it off because of the reasons you just stated. We talked about them last night. So I need to focus on myself, because if I don't even want to get into what I'm going to say. So I
just started. Dude.
I need help.
If you don't do it for you,
something. That's what you're saying.
If you don't do it for you, do it for your mom. Do it for your girl.
Yeah.
Do it for me.
Do it for everybody.
Do it
for everybody.
Just fucking take care of yourself, man.
I can't help anybody if I can't help myself. So I'll keep it at that.
All right.
I will definitely get help. I appreciate that. I love you to death, and I appreciate you very much.
I love you too, brother.
Thank you, man.
I'm proud of you.
Proud of you too.
It's an honor.
I know this was a long one, but please spread the word. Share both episodes of this series with anyone that you know that has kids. It may be the most important thing you can do. Knowledge is power. Fuck these motherfuckers. We're done with the bullshit. There is nothing more sinister than I can think of and more evil than preying on the most vulnerable in our society, and that is our kids. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, for Exposed Scandalous Files of the Elite, I'm Jim Chapman. Much love.